Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Ultima 6, The False Prophet. In our previous episode, we finally delved into the dungeon Destard, and finally got the last two pieces of Captain Hawkins' treasure map. We have now gotten all 8 pieces, and as you may remember when we started this quest, the former pirate Homer told us that if we could get those 8 pieces, he would tell us where the 9th piece is hid, so that we can finally get that treasure. Finally find that lost silver tablet, finally translate the gargoyle language, and finally be able to read this book that Yolo has been carrying around since the beginning of the game. A book that will tell us much about why the gargoyles are invading, what this entire mess is about, and why we're here in Britannia in the first place. So, obviously our next step is to go back to Buccaneer's Den, to return to Homer, and to go ahead and get that last map piece and find that treasure. Before we do that, let's quickly stop in this tavern, where we just left, where we just spoke to Morcella to get that last map piece, and let's speak quickly to the cook here. As you may remember, when we first came to Serpent's Hold for the first time, he told us he would like to get a dragon's egg, much like the pirate Sandy did. When we were down in Destard, we didn't just pick up the one egg for Sandy, we picked up an extra egg, and that's why I did that. I remembered that Shubin here wanted an egg as well. Let's quickly talk to him. Tell him that we have an egg. Have you one with you? We sure do. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we give him the egg. Goodbye, my lord. Now, the reason we did that is, by giving Shubin the egg, we actually got a small boost in karma. Now, while I'm talking, let's go ahead and really quickly head back to Lord British's castle, and I'll explain why we did that. We got a very small boost in karma. And as I mentioned previously, karma is an important measure in this game. It measures how closely you've been following the virtues. And you can gain karma by completing quests, freeing shrines, and behaving virtuously. You can lose karma by behaving unvirtuously. And that does become important later in the game. Now, if for some reason you're ever playing Ultima 6 and you didn't realize that karma was important, maybe you stole a lot of items early on in the game because you were trying to... you didn't realize how much it would harm you, delivering eggs to Shubin is a good way to get karma back. If we'd wanted to, I could have filled up as many eggs as I could carry. I could have loaded the avatar up as much as I could. Or had my party been stronger and I was able to get them all into that dragon's den instead of just sneaking in with one character, we could have taken every egg that we found and gone ahead and given them all to Shubin. And for every egg we give him, we get a little bit of a karma boost. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. It's an easy way to make extra karma. Or rather, at least it's easy when your party's strong enough. It's not quite easy for a beginning party. Now, the reason we're here in this shop here is I want to go ahead and buy something really quickly before we go on this little treasure quest here. Let's go ahead and give a few gold coins to the avatar. And we'll talk to Ephraim here. I would like to buy a shovel. And we'll buy one of those. Now, there's not really been anything up to this point of the game that's told us that I would need a shovel, but we are going treasure hunting, and I think a shovel might come in handy, and I'd like to not have to make a bunch of return trips back and forth. And I'll just tell you right now that yes, we are going to need a shovel for this quest. Alright, now what we need to do to go to Buccaneer's Den is we need to get our ship back. But unfortunately, the last time I had my ship, I didn't leave it at any docks. In fact, the last time I had my ship was in the episode where we went to the Swamp Cave. We sailed right up next to the Swamp Cave, left our ship there on the coast, went in the Swamp Cave, explored it, and when I was done I kind of forgot about my ship and used a moon gate to return to town. Our ship's still sitting there out in the wilderness. We need to go find it again. So, let's use the Orb of the Moons, 2 spaces to the north and 1 to the east, to head for the Shrine of Compassion. Here we go. Now what we need to do is we need to go around the mountains here. And we're going to have to manually make our way over by the Swamp Cave. It's not very far, but we can go ahead and get there. Now we go as far as we can walk until the path is blocked. We'll have Santre step over and go ahead and drop our skiff into the water, and we'll board it. Now, in Ultima 6, there's really nothing stopping us from just using our skiff. I didn't need to go get my ship back, really. I could have just used my skiff and go sailing off to Buccaneer's Den like this. There's only one thing really stopping me from doing that. If I was to run into a sea monster or a giant squid or some other monster like that, these skiffs aren't particularly very durable. They don't take a lot of punishment before they get broken, and if that happens, we're kind of doomed. We'd be out in the middle of the water with no way to defend ourselves. Skiffs also don't have cannons. I can't attack while I'm on a skiff, not like on a big frigate, which has shipboard cannons. So it is to our advantage to go ahead and find our ship again, which should be up here any moment now. And there it is. Now, in previous Ultimas, in Ultima 5, I literally couldn't use a skiff. If I sailed about this far off the shore, right where the water changes, it looks like it gets to a different kind of current here, or the waves get rougher, and I sailed beyond that, I'd start taking damage from the rough seas. Now, in Ultima 6, that doesn't happen. You know, like I said, there's nothing stopping me from using a skiff to sail wherever I want to, but a larger ship is better. Like I said, on this ship, we have cannons. And we also have a hull that I can rest up to 100%. Okay, so let's head for Buccaneer's Den. As you may remember, the coordinates 30 degrees east and 30 degrees south run right through the center of the island. So let's head a little bit to the west, to about 30 degrees, or maybe about 35. And then we'll start heading south. Our objective is to head to the island, speak to the former pirate Homer, and hopefully get that 9th map piece, or at least find out where he's hidden it. Hopefully we won't have to go too far out of our way to get that other map piece here. Fighting these 8 pieces has been enough of a chore as it is. Fighting dragons and all sorts of other things. Okay, we're almost down there. And there's the island, we found it. Okay, let's sail around to the harbor here, and we'll look for those docks, which should be right around here. There they are. Alright, welcome back to Buccaneer's Den. Now, Homer was hanging out in the tavern up here. Let's see if he's still there. Ah, there he is. You see a shifty-eyed character. He carries a cane and walks with a slight limp. So, have you found the 8 pieces of that map yet? Yes, we have. Very well. I've been thinking about how we could work out a deal. I know you want that silver tablet. Far as I'm concerned, you can have it. All I really want is the magical cloak that's buried with the rest of the treasure. So I'll tell you where the 9th piece of the map is if you promise to bring me the cloak. The rest of the treasure should be loot enough to satisfy you. Is it a deal? That sounds more than fair to me. Yes, it is a deal. Okay, the 9th piece of the map is hidden right here in my pocket. He grins wickedly. I had to keep it safe while you were off gathering the others, didn't I? He hands you the last piece of the map. The island in the upper left hand corner is Buccaneer's Den. You'll keep your word and come right back here with the magic storm cloak, won't you? Yes, we like following the virtues. We're going to go ahead and honor this deal. Good, then I'll tell you this. When you reach the island marked with the X, find the 3 stones and stand in the center. Then walk 3 paces due south, 9 paces due west, and 12 more paces south. That should put you right next to an old dead tree. Dig in the patch of dirt just to the south of you and you'll find the treasure. Now go get it! We've done it. We now have all of the pieces of the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's move the party over to here. I'm going to go into solo mode and we're going to go ahead and put our map on the ground here. Now I'm noticing part of the map here has a little island on it. This here looks just like Buccaneer's Den. I can see the little mountains, and it's the right shape for Buccaneer's Den. And he said that's the upper left part of the map. So that's a good place to start. Okay, so now we need to figure out the rest of this map. Now I noticed 2 pieces here seem to go together. They seem to form an island themselves. And if I look at my Ultima 6 map that comes with the game, or again, like I always say, if you look on Google, type in Ultima 6 map, there is an island to the east of Buccaneer's Den, a little bit to the south and east, and that's actually the island where the town of New Magentia sits. We haven't been there yet on this playthrough, but we'll be visiting there eventually. Well, this looks just like New Magentia. It is kind of a crescent-shaped island. So that might just be what's here to the east and slightly to the south of Buccaneer's Den. So that looks like the top part of the map is complete. We have 9 pieces, so it makes sense that the map would be 9 by 9. Let's see what the rest of the pieces we have can do. Okay, well these 2 pieces here seem to go together. Yeah, they form an island with an X on it. That must be our eventual destination. Now we need to figure out how that fits with the rest of the map. But what I will tell you is, this piece here seems to fit right there. Well, if that's 3 things wide, and the map is 9 by 9, which seems like a safe assumption, then this might be the bottom edge of the map. This might be the bottom of it. Let's see how well that fits in there. Well, all these lines seem to be lining up pretty well. If that's true, then this might be the left-hand corner of the map. Or sorry, the left-hand edge of the map. And this must be the center. Well, look at that. Now, if this is Buccaneer's Den, and we know quite well that the coordinates lines 30, 30 go through it, that's 30, 40, 50 degrees east. By 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees south. So 50, 60 should take us to this island, with an X in the center of it. Now again, if you look on the cloth map that comes with Ultima 6, there actually is an island there at about 50, 60. The 50, 60 line seems to run right through the bottom part of that island. That must be it. That's got to be where we have to go. Let's gather up these pieces of the map really quickly. Alright. Let's quickly move these map pieces back into the map bag for now. Just so the avatar's inventory isn't quite so ridiculous. Bear with me just a moment. We want to hang on to these map pieces just in case we made a mistake and we need to look at this map again. Alright. Let's get the party together and let's head back to our ship. Okay, we are currently at 3236, so we want to head for 60-50. 60 degrees south, 50 degrees east. And it shouldn't take us that long at all to get there. Okay, let's start heading east from here. We need to head to 50 degrees. Oops. There we go. We should be almost there. Ah, there looks like something's here. This must be the island. Let's sail around and look for... He mentioned there's going to be 3 stones that we need to find. That must be it. Let's go ahead and quickly dock the ship. And let's start looking for this treasure. Now, night's falling, so let's very quickly light a torch. Now, as you may remember, Homer said starting in the middle of these stones, we're going to head 3 paces south. 1, 2, 3. 9 paces west. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're standing next to this dead tree, but before we go any further, let's deal with these alligators. Okay, and then from this, 12 more paces south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's a hydra. Alright, now, what we need to do is we need to equip the shovel, because we need to use that shovel to dig. Oops. You shovel to the south. You dig a hole. Let's go ahead and explore it. Shamino says, this is the pirate cave. That's why we need the shovel. In order to dig, in order to get into the pirate cave, you need to have a shovel to dig there. Oh, well, that doesn't look ominous at all. There's some bones. Let's look at them. Thou dost see a pile of bones. Searching here, you find a green potion, a mangosh, a black shield, swamp boots, a bag, a pick, a sextant, and a backpack. Wow, is there anything in the backpack? 5 torches and 3 gems. Alright, well, YOLO, go ahead and grab the gems. Leona, let's grab those extra torches. And let's go ahead and take that backpack. That could be useful. Ah, it's a little too heavy. Dupre, you're going to hold on to that backpack. Now, we don't need a sextant. We'll move that over. I don't think we need a pick. Let's see what's in this bag. Cheese, a knife, ale, a plate, a mug, and 1 loaf of bread. Well, that's up to Shamino now. We can go ahead and grab some more food here. We don't need the mug or the plate or the ale or the knife. We'll grab the cheese. Honestly, backpacks are a lot heavier than bags are, so let's drop the backpack. But let's definitely take that bag. You can always use an extra bag. We really don't need any extra swamp boots. We actually have extras, and we don't need an extra shield like that. We don't need an extra mangosh. However, I think Yola was holding on to some potions. Let's go ahead and grab that green potion. We'll put that in the potion bag. And that's that. Let's look at this gravestone. Now, it's all written in runic, so we'll have to translate that. It says, "Here lies Captain Hawkins." Ah, the infamous Captain Hawkins. He died a hard death, and he deserved it. Well, as they already made it clear, he wasn't very popular with his crew. I'm not sure if those bones were actually Captain Hawkins himself or someone who came here to find his treasure. I fear that that may actually be the poor pirate himself, and this is what was left of him, this ignoble end, buried in a cave on a forgotten island. Well, we're not interested in that. We're interested in finding his treasure, so let's go ahead and explore this cave. Well, that's not a good idea. Let's get out of the way here. Looks like there's a trap. We're gonna have to keep our eyes out for... Darn it! We're gonna have to keep our eyes out for this sort of thing. I need to move the entire party out of the way here. It's very easy when you're moving and using the arrow keys to push up one too many times and accidentally step on the trap again. That's what happened there. Let's check our hit points and make sure we didn't get too badly hurt. No, we're alright. Okay. The sign says this way, and I see a trap right in front of it. Let's go the other way. We just need to be careful. If we run into traps, we need to immediately stop and move the trap out of the way. Like that. We'll move in solo mode so we can move the trap out of the way without bringing the rest of the party along. The sign points south and says, "This way." Obviously, whoever put the treasure here didn't want anybody to stumble across it. The problem is, I'm not sure if there's any convenient way to find these traps. There is a detect trap spell, but I'm not sure if that actually works for the kinds of traps that are on the ground here. Let's see what happens if I cast it. No, see, I have to actually cast it on a specific location, like a chest or something. I did not mean to do that. We need to quickly get out of this lava. And you see how badly the party's hurt from doing that. That's the disadvantage of not paying attention to the screen while you're walking through a place like the Pirate's Cave. There was a hole right there. I walked right on top of it without even realizing it. We fell down a level, and, well, my party got pretty badly hurt. Let's head back up to the first level here. Uh-oh, looks like there's some Mong bats ahead. Let's go ahead and start combat. See if these bodies have anything worth taking here. Let's see what's in these chests here. Now I'm going to go ahead and cast that Detect Trap spell on the chests. No trap on that one. What about this one? Nope, no trap. A little bit of food and some gold coins. We'll go ahead and take the gems. And then we'll go ahead and attack these slimes. We'll go ahead and let the Avatar get on with some of this action here. Okay, now that we've dealt with that. So what ended up happening is we accidentally fell down a pit that I didn't mean to, but it actually brought us out by where we wanted to be anyway. But let me quickly walk back to where we fell, because the whole point of this is to show everybody how to get where to go. And I'm going to very quickly walk through this tunnel just to show you where you need to go. Obviously, we're going to keep our eyes out for more of those floor traps. Okay, so this is where we left off. Let's go ahead and just walk a little bit further through this tunnel here, and we should get to where we were. And there we go. There's the hole that we just came from. If you look at the sign right there on the wall, it says "Drop to your death." Of course, I didn't pay attention to that. I was walking along, not really paying attention to the screen. That's what happens when you're busy looking at your notes when you should be looking at the screen. Either way, continue walking west along this passage and we'll go back to where we were. If you head south here, basically all these signs just say, that way, this way. And in this case, they actually are telling the truth. We do want to head down this way. Now if we go up here, we can fight a dragon. Let's test our luck. Alright, the dragon's fleeing, so let's go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and heal our party. There we go. Unfortunately, the dragon ran away. Actually, looks like he got cornered here and stuck on the corner, so let's take advantage of that and finish him off. Alright, let's let the whole party take care of this. And we got him. We'll go ahead and try to detect any traps that might be on this chest. It's trapped. So let's go ahead and cast Untrap on it. Success. There we go. We'll go ahead and grab these extra gems here. And we'll go ahead and grab the extra gold as well. Okay, so this ladder could theoretically take us down to the second level, but we're going to go ahead and not use that ladder. Let's go ahead and head back the way we were before we headed over there for that little detour with the dragon. If you basically follow this path back along the way that we were, oops, I'm sorry, I actually went the wrong way. There are many ladders leading downwards, and they all lead to the same level, but some areas are blocked off, some areas are dead ends. The cave is not particularly hard in terms of the enemies here. I mean, yes, there is that dragon who somehow wandered in, or maybe was left here by a pirate, I don't even know. The main challenge of the pirate cave is that it's a maze. There are lots of dead ends and backtracks and ladders that'll take you into the middle of a lava field, that sort of thing. We want to make sure we're following the correct path here. And that path is the one that leads to this ladder here. We're going to go ahead and ignore these enemies. We've already fought this battle. And go right down the ladder. Now, the way you know you've gone the right way, this lake here has several islands, and many of them have ladders leading upwards, but only one of them has a bridge. And that's the one you want to be on, which is the one that we're on right here. So what you do is you head south from here, and start heading west. We want to head all the way as far down as we can, and then we're going to head westward into this cave system here. The Maze of Death. Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Alright, let's just see what we can do here, keeping our eyes out for traps. If we follow this all the way around here, just as far left and straight as we can. Just keep heading down and left wherever we can here. We'll eventually get to a sort of a dead end here, which is actually right here. You see this little dead end here? From here, we're going to go ahead and head upwards. Right there is a ladder leading further down. This leads to level 3. Off limits. Well, apparently they don't want us to be here, but either way, again, there are ladders leading downwards, there are ladders leading upwards. We're going to try to find the correct ladder. So if we head west from here and then down to the south, and then just basically follow this corridor as far as it goes, watching out for traps, watching out for pits. Like that one. We don't want to fall into that pit there. Basically follow this cavern all the way up here. And up here is a hole. Now the way you know this is the correct hole is that there's a gold nugget next to it. See this gold nugget here? That's the way you know this is the correct hole. The one that doesn't lead to a pit of lava. And here is level 4. This is the final level. Now here on level 4, we're just going to follow this path all the way around. It's pretty much one straight path leading right to where we need to go. That's how you know you're on the right path. If you take any of the other ladders down or follow any of those other pits, you'll invariably land in a pit of lava in a section of this of level 4 that isn't connected to the rest of it. So you have to find a ladder back up, go back to level 3, and eventually find your way back down again. And that's the way the pirates guarded their treasure. They knew that most people might not ever even find the correct path. If they did, they'd only blunder upon it. Okay, eventually we're going to come to a corridor leading north. We're going to go ahead and ignore that one with the poison gas. We'll ignore this one, and we'll go into this one with the poison gas. So, that's no problem for us, of course, because we have Dispel Field. Let's keep our eyes out for more traps here. Let's let Dupre go first, and we'll start combat. Yeah, there's another one. Allow Dupre and YOLO to deal with this threat here. Okay, and in this large chamber is going to be the treasure of Captain Hawkins. Let's just deal with any enemies we find first. That room right there must be where the treasure is. Now, there's two ways we could get in here. If we had a high enough skill, we could jimmy our way in, although I'm pretty sure this lock would be pretty hard to jimmy. It was put there by pirates, after all. But we have a better way to get into here. Let's move the party over here real quickly and get everybody over here. Deal with this slime really quick. And allow Santre to walk up here. We'll go ahead and drop a powder keg and use it. Kaboom! The door is blown up. There's some more powder kegs. Let's go ahead and take one. And here is the lost treasure of Captain Hawkins. Look at all this stuff. This is something else. So let's take a moment to go ahead and get what we can. Leon is going to go ahead and take any torches we find. Yolo's going to go ahead and grab gems. And this silver tablet. Thou dost see a silver tablet. That's what we've been looking for this entire time. Yolo's going to also go ahead and grab the any magic wands we might find here. And he'll move those into the appropriate bag here. There's another invisibility ring. Those always come in handy. Put those into the second bag there. Like I mentioned, there are harder dungeons than Death Star that we're going to be facing in the future, and having those invisibility rings is going to be a real help to us. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the storm cloak here. Remember, we're going to go ahead and return that to Homer. And let's see what's in some of these barrels and such. Some cloth. Wooden shield and a curved heater. An iron helm and a magic helm. Well, magic helm always comes in handy if we get another party member. If we end up picking another party member, magic helms are useful, so we'll move that to Dupre. He'll hang on to that. Some leather armor, that's not too useful. Some gold coins. We have more than enough gold coins. We don't need the oil flasks or the plate armor. More gold. Some random tools, a sextant, leather armor, food, a spiked collar. Another invisibility ring. Let's go ahead and quickly grab that. And Leona will grab that torch. Let's move these boots over and see what's in this check. Just a plate. And a fan. Let's grab that. And that's about all that's of use to us. There's still a lot of gold nuggets, but we have more than enough gold that we can ever use. Yeah, and that's, you know, if we hadn't already talked to the Wisps at this point of the game, if we hadn't talked to the Wisps and we didn't have so much gold, this would be a great way to build up extra gold for the party, but unfortunately we don't need that kind of gold, so we'll just leave it for some future adventure who may stumble upon it. We have better things to carry. And that does it. That about does it. But we've got the silver tablet, an extra magic ring, which is always useful. We also got the magic cloak to return to Homer, and we got a fan. Use the fan, we feel a breeze. Interesting. I wonder what that fan might be used for. Perhaps it'll be useful later in the game for something. I wonder. Let's go ahead and light another torch here, and let's head out. Now, normally I would just use the Orb of the Moons to get us out of here. You know, I'd use the Orb of the Moons to get away, to get us quickly back to the town of Britain, but we need to get back to our ship, so we're gonna have to do this the long way. So bear with me while I go ahead and walk us out of this cave system here. It'll take just a few moments here. Fortunately, we shouldn't run into any more traps. We've already passed all the ones that that should be bothering us. Okay, there's the ladder back up to level 3. We're just going to follow the same path that we took before. Be careful not to fall into that hole, which will lead us invariably down into some sort of lava field. Let's follow this path all the way around back to that central corridor with the ladder leading upwards. There we go. Then on level 2 here, we're going to follow all the way down to the bottom here, like before, and then head east. And that should lead us out towards that lake area. Yeah, there we go. And this is the ladder that will lead us back upwards to level 1. Ah, some trolls. Let's join the battle. That certainly didn't take long. And unfortunately, at this part of the game, just these types of characters really don't carry a lot that's useful to us. I know it seems wasteful to just be leaving behind all this gold, but we simply don't need it. Now what we're going to do is we're not going to go after that dragon again. We'll just head north here and ignore the dragon that's probably, if he respawned, will be hanging out over there on the left. Instead, we'll head back the way we came. Of course, we're going to be careful to avoid falling into that pit again. Hopefully those traps haven't reset themselves. Nope, it's still there where I pushed it to the side. And the other one, yep, the other one's still there. And that is the Pirate's Cave. Now, there are some other parts to the cave, other things to find, but that's really what we came for. We were looking for that, I'm just going to ignore those alligators for right now. We were going there to find the silver tablet. That's what we wanted, and that's was our objective. Now, we will go, and we're going to go ahead and give that cloak. We will give that cloak to Homer in a little while. There is no penalty in terms of karma to not go right back to him and give it to him. And in fact, technically, there's nothing in the game to stop you from keeping the cloak. You don't have to ever give it to Homer. The game does not penalize you. But we are the Avatar. I'd like to go ahead and do the right thing and give it to him eventually. But before we do that, I'd like to make one last stop, and we're going to go back to Moonglow. We've been looking for so long to find this silver tablet to give it to Mariah that we need to do that. We need to give it to her without delay. Let's quickly use our sextant. We're at 38 degrees, 62 east. So we have a bit of a ways to go. Moonglow's at about 20 degrees south, so... and between 70 and 80 degrees east. If I head due east from here, we should run into some of the southern islands right below Moonglow, or perhaps even the southern tip of the island. In fact, there they are. Let's head a little bit further to the north so we can get to where the actual town is. In fact, I'm thinking of leaving my boat near Zhao's house. It's an easy-to-find location on the island, so there's little chance that we'll lose track of our boat if we do that. There it is. There's that water wheel. So let's go ahead and use the boat. And there's Zhao's house. So let's head south from here. We're going to go to the Lyceum. It's possible that we may be a little bit too late in the day to see Mariah. So let's quickly rest for 9 hours, get through the night. Dupre is at full health, so he'll guard. Looks like something woke us up from our sleep. Let's quickly light a torch. Ah, gremlins. We do not want to let them get too close because they will steal our food. Let's bring the party back in. Let's try that again. And hopefully resting with food will heal our party somewhat. Anybody who's doesn't have full hit points should get some of them back. Yeah, the party's healed somewhat. That's great. Okay, so let's head down towards the Lyceum and we'll talk to Mariah. There she is. Let's go ahead and grab that second part of the tablet. We'll just have YOLO hang on to both of them. And let's go talk to Mariah. With both pieces of the tablet, I should be able to work out a translation. She studies the tablet for a while, and then starts reading haltingly from the book. An ancient prophecy tells of the final days, when the end of our world shall come. 3 signs will precede the end. Thrice shall a being of great evil come into our land, and by this it shall be known that the end is nigh. This evil one is of another race, who consider the evil one a great prophet. Yet this false prophet follows not the principles of control, passion, and diligence. One day the false prophet will come and desecrate our most holy shrine, and the false prophet will steal our most holy artifact, the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom. This shall be the first sign of the end. Then it is written, the false prophet shall descend deep into the bowels of the earth, and the false prophet will cause the underworld to collapse. This will cause great earthquakes to tear our world asunder, and there will be a time of plague and famine. This shall be the second sign of the end. One last time shall the false prophet come. This time the false prophet will come with a band of warriors, and they will destroy all that remains of the gargoyle race. There is only one way that this prophecy may be averted. That is by the sacrifice of the false prophet. What? So basically, by gargoyle logic, I am considered a false prophet, and the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, which I found in Ultima 4 and was raised up by the Great Council, taken from the void where it was found, from the bottom of the abyss. The gargoyles considered that a holy artifact, and from their point of view, we stole it. And then when I went into the underworld and rescued Lord British, which caused the underworld to collapse, that was seen also as an attack upon them because it caused a time of great famine and destruction to them. And now they think that I'm going to come and destroy them, and the only way to stop me is to sacrifice me. That explains the beginning of the game, why they were trying to sacrifice me on that altar. They think I'm their enemy. The whole point of this war is to stop me from destroying them. Mariah pauses for a while, deep in thought. When they refer to the false prophet, they must mean you, she says. It would seem that they have reason to think you evil from their perspective. This is a difficult matter to resolve. I think you'd better seek out more information. There's a gargoyle named Sinvral living out in the desert. He speaks our language. Perhaps he could tell you more about this book and of how the gargoyles view us. Yeah, we spoke to him before, but we didn't think to ask him about the book. Goodbye, Mariah. Fare thee well. Well, that's a conundrum. The whole point of this, the reason the gargoyles are attacking, capturing our shrines, putting force fields on them, stealing our moonstones, attacking our people, is because they think that we're going to attack them. They think that we're the enemy. You might be able to say they think that they're acting in self-defense. This is a pretty bad conundrum, and I'm not sure how we're going to resolve this. We seem to have our work set out for us, though. Obviously, this is not just a war that we need to fight, although it may end up being that. It may be that we have to fight the gargoyles in order to stop them. But maybe there's another way. Maybe there's some way we can convince them that we're not their enemy. Maybe there's some way that we can make peace. Although I don't see how that could be possible with so much blood having already been shed. Either way, I think our next step is to go talk to Sinvral and see what else we can do. There's got to be another step forward in this quest. In our next episode, we're searching for answers. I'll see you then.